Today at Manchester Theatres, it is my pleasure to be joined by the very much celebrated Irish soprano Ailish Tynan, who is going to be performing in English National Opera's semi-staged concert of Così Fan Tutte at the Bridgewater Hall on the 27th and 28th of February. Now, Ailish came to wider attention after winning the Rose and Black Recital Song Prize for BBC Cardiff Singer of the World in 2003, and has gone on to perform in so many operas, concerts, recitals, with work including Turn of the Screw. We have the world premiere of Feston, Messiah, Mozart, C minor Mass, and of course a regular recitalist at Wigmore Hall as well. So thank you so much for joining me to talk about one of Mozart's funniest operas, probably.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me, Karen. I'm delighted to be here and I'm delighted to be coming to Manchester. I actually, despite the big Irish accent, I'm living in Southeast London now 25 years. So, funnily enough, when I get up to Manchester, I nearly feel like I'm a little step closer to home. It feels
Oh,
like familiar territory up there. I love the warmth of the audiences and
yeah.
yeah,
It's a little hop and skip across the ocean, really, isn't it?
it is.
So we've got this semi-staged concert. So in terms of the audience watching, what does that mean?
Yeah.
What can we expect?
Well, we've just been rehearsing today, getting it all ready to come up to you guys, because we've just done a run of course, the fully staged opera at English National Opera at the
Yes.
Coliseum. And it's fantastic because it's really in our bones now. You know, what you guys are going to get is really the finished, polished product without all the sets and the staging. And the thing about this opera is that the story is ridiculous, really. I mean, half the time people are saying, "Oh, it's Despina. You never would have known my character." And sure, you'd have to be, I don't know what you'd have to be to not recognize me as me every time I come back in a
Like sniffing out with the
disguise.
glasses.
I've got a moustache at one stage, but it's a very badly behaved moustache. Half the time it's fallen off, and that adds to the fun of the whole thing as well. But yeah, so I think the biggest thing we'll be bringing to Manchester is the sublimity of the sublime music. The music for this is, despite the ridiculous story, is stunning. And some of the singing is, you know, it's difficult singing. It's very high, it's very low. So it's virtuosic kind of stuff. And the orchestral playing has been phenomenal through the whole thing from the orchestra Vienna. And of course, now we're going to get it to do it in the intimacy and the incredible acoustic of the theatre. You know, Bridgewater Hall is,
It's
it's
stunning,
a
isn't it?
concert hall. It's
Yeah.
different to doing it in a theatre, because in a theatre, of course, you know, they're very big. They're kind of like big old barns.
Mm.
And you have to, and the thing that, of course, makes opera different to almost any other kind of art form is that we do it unamplified. So when you
Yeah.
go to a musical, people will have the little microphones. We don't have any of that. And I'm actually very short in reality. I'm only 5 foot tall. So you would wonder how someone my size manages to fill up such a big space. But that is the technique of being an opera singer. So to be able to go to the incredible acoustic in Bridgewater Hall and sing it there, I can promise you is going to be a joy and a pleasure for us. There's been a lot of love with this team. We've got a great team, fantastic singers, and actually one of them is from up your way, Wigan, Andrew, and he has already, I think, sold out half the hall to his friends and family. So you better get in quick and get your tickets if there'll be any left with him. And we're excited to come there because
Yeah.
we've gelled brilliantly. And as I say, there's a lot of love. And I think when that happens in a cast, that love and joy radiates out to the audience. You
It does.
just, it makes everything so much better. And it's, you know, sometimes if you just have a concert performance, you've come together that week or maybe even just a few days beforehand. We've been together the last 2 months.
Yeah.
So we've really gelled and bonded. And now, even though we won't have the set and we'll only have some of the props and that kind of thing, I think what you're going to get is a really enjoyable experience, a full bodied experience.
Yes. It sounds amazing, and I can see how passionate you are about it. I love it. So tell us, for anyone who might not know, a little bit about this story because
Oh,
it's
Lord.
It's not even a love triangle. It's a situation, is what it is.
I'm not even sure I understand what's going on half the time. Honest to goodness, we've got kind of an arch manipulator, Don Alfonso,
Yeah.
and I am kind of, in a way, his right hand woman. And there's these two boys and these two girls. And at the start of the story, one of the boys is in love with one of the girls and one of the boys in love with the other girl. But Don Alfonso puts a bet on them and he says all girls are fickle. But in actual fact, I think Despina thinks everyone is fickle. Despina thinks everyone should be having a good time. So he says to the boys, we're going to have this bet. I'm going to prove to you that your girlfriends will not be faithful to you. So they put on a bet. The boy says, oh, they will. And then they change outfits. They look exactly the same, actually. I don't think they're fooling anyone. And they then start to woo the other one's girlfriend. And for a while, the girls hold out and the boys think they've won the bet, but eventually Don Alfonso gets his money and Despina makes sure she gets her share too.
Absolutely, yeah.
Despina, I think, is all about women power in this. And we've got a fantastic translation for this one by Jeremy Sams. And honestly, I mean, I've done it in the Italian as well a couple of times. But this English translation really brings to life a whole different way of thinking for me. And in a way, it's much more interesting. For example, in my second aria, in the Italian, I kind of repeat the same words over again and again. Whereas in the English translation, Jeremy has given me different words for every bit. So I've got a really much more meat to put on the bones, I feel like, of this one.
Yeah. Oh, that's really interesting.
And I think it's brilliant as well. If you're in a country, where most of us speak English, that you can come and hear an opera in your own language.
Yeah.
I feel for me, that's going to be a much more immediate experience for people, maybe who've never been to opera before. Yeah. You're going to know what's happening. And I always find that a little bit more enjoyable.
Well, yeah, it helps. So you've said you've sung it in Italian and now it's been translated in English. Does that, from your sort of technical breathing and all of that kind of performance viewpoint, does that alter how you then have to perform the song?
Well, I think I'm at this so long. I think I'm doing this professionally about 25 years. So I don't think there's anything they could throw at me now, Karen, that would stump me at all. I'll give it all a go. And I think as well, I kind of got to a stage where my technique is pretty rock solid. So they can throw anything at me and I'll give it a go.
And you'll be there. So in the production that you mentioned that's just finished, it was set in, I think, 1950s Coney Island. Is that right?
It was.
Is it still set there?
Now that I'm not sure about, because I don't. Oh God, you've caught me out. I don't know. That's the answer to that one, Karen.
Well, then it'll be a surprise for all of us.
We will have all the costumes still, but I know, because the ENO people were saying to me before, and say this, say that. I'm saying, oh God, I'm not a spokesperson for ENO. I'm just an opera singer trying to do my job and earn a few quid.
It's okay. We'll all find out together.
We will, exactly. I certainly do have a very nice beehive. So pretty much a 1950s hairstyle, which I'm definitely going with. I can do with the extra inches.
I love it. So you play the mischievous maid, Despina. So you've given us a little bit of insight, but tell us a bit more about who she is and what it is like to play someone who is just so cheeky, really.
I know. I mean, honestly, I don't really feel like I have to act at all. I just feel like they've transported Ailish Tynan into this production. I feel like maybe I'm the reincarnation of the soprano Mozart knew when he wrote the part. But I mean, she's really cheeky. She loves money. She's a lady who loves money. She loves men. She's up for a good time. If she thinks there's a good time to be had, she's there, especially if she can get a few extra quid out of it. So she's an opportunist. She's loving life. And I think in the Italian version, there was a little bit more of a sense that she had been maybe betrayed by men and, had a bit of pain from that. But in this production, I'm not feeling this translation. I don't feel that at all. I feel like Despina is actually a good time girl. She knows exactly what she wants out of life and she's going to get it.
Yes. Good for her. Good for her. And what is brilliant about the character as well, in operas and things, we have all these big grand love stories, and she is the polar opposite. I mean, she brings cynicism to love, doesn't she? And
She
really
sure does.
talented. Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, in the real music, she doesn't get to sing any high notes, but I've added in two top C's to my part. So
Wow.
if you're coming along, watch out for them. I
Yes,
don't
we
think you'll
will.
miss them, actually. I do really milk them.
I'm going to say, I'm not sure we'll miss those. And it really is kind of the ultimate relationship test, this story, isn't it? And what is interesting is, again, what you've touched on, that I mean, this was written like forever ago, yet those kind of they're almost inherited traditions, like the way that relationships go, the way that they're tested, with temptation being there. And of course, in today's world, you've got temptation on an app. It's there. It's And social media
Oh,
can really, you can manipulate it to kind of twist the image that you give. I mean, if this was set today, Despina would be just like in her element, wouldn't
oh
she?
Lord, I never thought about the apps. The apps were a bit before my time in real life. But God, I can only imagine what Despina would do if she got her hands on an app or a gambling app as well.
Gosh, yeah. Can you imagine? She'd be
She would
like
have
that, wouldn't
enjoyed
she?
that.
She'd have a phone for each one. She'd be like that.
She would. Oh,
Oh, and Mozart's music, I mean, he's known for, being so exquisite at storytelling. He captures humor, humanity.
yeah.
And you've got a couple of belting arias in this as well, haven't you?
I do.
Yeah.
But you see, you're so right about the music. I mean, that is the jewel in the crown of all this kind of madness of the storyline. And you're right. Like there are moments of such poignancy and heart and singing. I mean, I think especially in kind of maybe the Fiordiligi role and the Ferrando role. Fiordiligi been sung by Lucy Crowe, who is absolutely incredible and really squeezes every little nuance out of it. And it's a really good cast of
Yeah.
fantastic singers. So I think from that point of view, the music is going to be the shining star.
Definitely. And with this piece as well, it is more than potentially any other opera, a complete ensemble opera, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it requires six equally strong, skilled performers to
Yeah.
work together.
Oh, it really does. And sometimes I feel at the end of Così, there's nearly no point taking individual bows. I do often think we should just all bow together because, we've all worked so hard, and it's one of those operas as well. Is sometimes you can do an opera and you work with people for 2 months, you rehearse for 6 weeks, and you never really got to know them or got close to them or anything.
Yeah.
With a Così cast, I always come away at the end and think, God, they're friends for life.
Yeah.
And I still have, like, on my WhatsApp groups, Così Così Garsington, all these groups that
Yes.
have survived in my WhatsApp. And every so often someone will put a little message in.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
we'll see. So you are okay with apps then, you see?
I
Maybe not the dating ones, but the other ones.
I think my husband will be delighted I'm not too good on the dating
Not with
app.
the dating ones, no. And so we've said, I mean, you've touched on it yourself, that she has all these different disguises,
Yes.
so many different roles that you come out with. Is there, apart from the mustache that's got a mind of its own, is there anything else within Despina's character that just still makes you laugh even after all this time, where
Oh,
you catch one of the disguises or one of the things that she does, and it just tickles you all the time?
oh, yeah. I mean, I the mustache definitely is one of them. But I think as well, it's just the way she's so quick witted. Like, right up until the very end, you really think no one's going to get one over on Despina.
Yeah.
And I love the way it always makes me laugh how focused she is on the money. I'd
Mm.
always say she's doing a Tina Turner on it. She's keeping her mind on the money.
She could even have the song "What's Love Got to Do with It?"
I know she could. Oh, she'd do a great job on that. She'd look good in a mini skirt as well.
Yes, she would. Oh, it has been an absolute blast chatting with you today. I don't think I've ever had so much fun discussing opera, I'll be honest.
Well, that's the thing. Opera is great fun. You know, I laugh when people say opera's elitist or opera's only for posh people. I mean, most opera singers I know couldn't be more normal and down to earth. And, you know, like so that's what we want, people to come and have fun.
Yeah.
We don't want them to sit there and be stuffy. We want to hear them laughing and clapping and enjoying themselves and having a glass of wine, having a good night out.
Have a good night. Well, we're definitely going to get that with this one.
Oh, you are.
We are. So thank you so much for joining me.
A pleasure. Thank you for having me, Karen, and looking forward to seeing Manchester and all the crew that make it to the show.
Definitely. And we're going to catch you at the Bridgewater Hall, 27th and 28th of February. So not long to go at all. And we will see you very, very soon.
Thank you, Karen. Bye. Bye.